Assalamu alaikum, dear friends and colleagues. We are before you with another video, and our topic is again the weak cooling of the air conditioner. In the previous lesson, we noted that when replacing R22 Freon in air conditioners with its substitutes, in some cases, a weakening of cooling up to 30% occurs. In today's lesson, we will talk about what kind of problems we will encounter when there is a gas leak in air conditioner that contains any R22 substitute. But I want to tell a true story so that it will be interesting for you. In 2019, when the import of R22 Freon was completely banned, a colleague of mine who always worked with R22 Freon noticed that after filling their conditioner with R407C Freon, the compressor of the air conditioner worked, drawing a current of close to 6 amps, which is near normal, but the cooling was very weak. We have such a tradition, the tradition of consulting with friends, even technicians who have worked in the air conditioning field for many years can sometimes get confused. When he called me, he stated that the air conditioner worked with R22 and he filled it with R407C Freon instead. But the cooling was practically non-existent. When I asked it how he loaded the R407 Freon into the air conditioner, my colleague said that he injected it as usual, that is, using a scale and placing the cylinder upright. I explained it to my colleagues that this was not correct and that this freon must absolutely be injected in liquid form, meaning with the cylinder turned upside down. Let me note that this colleague repairs the most difficult and complex VRF, VRV, and chillers inverter type air conditioner and is one of the highest level air conditioning technicians today. In these lessons, we prefer to transmit information by simplifying it. Even when explaining its physics, we try to explain it in a way that someone who has graduated from the high school will understand. The point is that all substitutes for R22 have the temperature glide problem. That is, let's specifically show what happened to this colleague of ours. Now on the screen, you see the composition and boiling temperatures of R407C refrigerant. As you can see, the boiling point of all three components is different and they try to escape from each other. When we hold the cylinder upright, the R32 gas inside the cylinder, which has the lowest boiling temperature, leaves the cylinder first, followed by R125 and then R134A. When this happens, it is as if we have filled the air conditioner with R410A. Our purpose in saying this is that if there is R407C gas in the air conditioner, for example, and the gas leak occurs in the system, then the lowest boiling R32 followed by R125 will leave the system. This will drastically change the composition of Freon. It is wrong to add gas to this air conditioner even if it is in liquid form. The most correct way is to recover this Freon from there using a recovery device. After this, for example, the location of the gas leak is found using dry nitrogen and it is eliminated. The system is vacuumed and Freon is filled into the air conditioner in liquid form, meaning the cylinder is turned upside down. as much as shown on the data plate. Of course, the density of R407C must also be taken into account. Since its density is approximately 5% lower, when filling this gas, 95% of the amount should be calculated. Now let's discuss such a topic. Since R22 Freon is a single component gas, when a gas leak occurred, it was possible to add it without any problems after the leak in the air conditioner was fixed. But we must collect the substitutes and hand them over the appropriate places. I wonder, in how many countries do air conditioning technicians hand over this gas? If the freon is released into the air at every leak, then it is easily understood that R410A due to high pressure and R407C and other R22 substitutes because of the disrupted gas ratio cause more damage to the ecology and accelerate global warming. We banned R22 because it depletes the ozone layer. Since substitutes were injected into air conditioners running on R22 during repairs, both their cooling power weakening and they began to use more energy. When the production of air conditioners operating with R22 was banned, I think if R22 itself had not been banned for at least 20 years, we would have been left with less damage. Perhaps we made a mistake when choosing the lesser of the two evils. Don't forget to like us and subscribe to us. Thank you for watching us until the end.